Hi everyone, it's Scrappy Kathy here with my Freeze Friday layout share, and I have a couple other little things to share that I just thought might be fun. I have, I think, 16 layouts here, and so most of them actually do not have videos because they were layouts that I finished from classes that I took that I wasn't filming, and I kind of finished them in 10 different steps. So unlike those YouTubers who edit their videos, I don't. I'm looking for my trash can here. I have a little bit of stuff from the table. Okay, so anyway, I'll start out, and I'll probably spend a little bit more time explaining some of the ones that didn't have videos. This first one didn't have a video. It's digital, mostly digital. I actually added a flower and a flare and a little 1, 2, 3, 4 puffy stickers from Paige Evans' Wonders collection. And this is a Dottie About flare, geotag flare. And this was for a load prompt, and it was about defining characteristic. And I have to say that at this point in my life, I look back and see what my life has been about, and it's pretty easy to pick out a defining characteristic, you know, because I've been defined for so long on the planet. So for me, it's wanderlust. I can't ever remember not wanting to go do something somewhere with someone. Early days, if you had asked me this when I was in elementary or high school, even, you know, high school, I probably would have said hyperactive and talkative, and was often called Chatty Cathy, which I'm sure you find difficult to believe. Occasionally, I was told that I was thoughtful and kind, so that was always nice. And I might have described myself as an adult, a younger adult, as ambitious and competitive and filled with curiosity and that undeniable wanderlust. So this kind of talks about how lucky I was to have had a career that involved travel around the country and the world, and how incredible it was to have found a soulmate who was infected with the exact same wanderlust. And our personalities and other interests could not have been more different when we got together, but we both had an undeniable thirst to see the world and, you know, do all the things and meet all the people and so forth. So this photo was taken when I was living in Anchorage, and in the afternoons I was supporting the law department for a large corporation, and when the lawyers took a break in the afternoon was when I did my laundry or went and did things for me. Otherwise, I was kind of on call all night, and then the early part of the day when they were in court. And so I was doing IT work for them. So this was one afternoon. My standard routine was to put, and this was Anchorage, Alaska, in the middle of winter. So this was a kind of dark sky there, as it kind of got dark around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but not so as you couldn't see. And there were lights everywhere because, you know, land of the midnight sun, they illuminate it. And so I'd put my clothes in a laundromat and then run down to REI and rent my poles and skis and head out to Kincaid Park and follow the cross-country ski trail. I had never cross-country skied in my life. The girl who took this photo was a friend of mine who sat at the desk next to mine, and she took me out the first time, showed me what equipment to rent, and then I went pretty much every afternoon after that, kind of on my own, and you'd see moose and just all kinds of beautiful scenery, and kind of growing up in the ultra warm south of the United States, these kinds of scenes were very new to me. So I used some digital stitching and digital newsprint that was yellow so that you could kind of see through it. I used it twice. I did this photo, and I have in my word processing system, I have a frame that actually is like a torn edge, and then you can put a shadow underneath it, and I put a shadow underneath this, made my own, phrase strip, things like that. So it was fun. It took me about 10-15 minutes to do. So that was too many words for that. This is a project from the Layout Palooza class where, actually this wasn't Layout Palooza, this was Stash Bash Palooza. So this was my own stash, but it was Christina Sorge's design, and I just used lots of torn layers from, for Stash Bash Palooza, I actually was using my Paige Evans last two collections, which was Wonders and Go the Scenic Route. So I have things from there, and a lot of just kind of scrap things. This was a cut file that it was a floral on a moon, and I kind of cut it apart and used a couple leaves here and a couple leaf sprigs there, and I think I used a bit of it on the next page too. Another Stash Bash Palooza using Paige Evans. I love this sheet of paper. This ombre from the pink to the orange is just amazing, and I love this. I love dark reddish orange. And I had some COVID flares that from Dottie About Flair, and I scrapped this. I did a different take on this. I scrapped this photo. I think I filtered it and used it in conjunction with another type of challenge. And here, talking about as things open up, I'm beginning to feel that old travel bug again, and it's kind of another wanderlust, adventure awaits, say yes to new things kind of deal. But the cautious optimism we feel if we're fully vaccinated and around mostly other vaccinated people. So this one is another one from Stash Bash Palooza. The design, this design right here, I absolutely love, and this is called Brick Wall, where you kind of overlay these bricks. I laid mine at kind of wonky angles, and I like it. It kind of works for me. I love this cluster down here, if I do say so myself. I even snuck in a little Amy Tangerine camera there, and I think I have the other half of it over here, or a different camera. Oh, and another one there. So I found a few of those, and I have a Wonders charm, a piece of 3 pieces of Dottie About Flair. So, and it was just a Mother's Day photo with my son in downtown Alpharetta after eating brunch. This one I really love. This was, we used these banners and then added texture. There were several ideas Christina gave us for texture, stitching being one, but I found these little lines of bling, and I thought those would work. And I had one little bit left, and I curved it around the circle there, and that's a circle that I had cut a star out of for a different layout, and I just kind of hid the open part underneath this label. And these flowers were fussy cut from the reverse side of something I had cut, for another project. And I just love this page. And it was taken at Katie's birthday party out on the back deck. And so this is a birthday flare. And this was from the birthday set. And then that one just picked up on the navy blue that was over here in my son's shirt. Okay, this was probably the most fun. This was one that was kind of done as homework. She gave us several ideas for this, again from the Stash Bash Blue, several ideas for these banners. And hers, she had stamped monkeys, and then the monkeys had interlocking tails and hands and so forth. And it was just cute as it could be. And I actually had that stamp, but I was limiting myself to Paige Evans for this project, or for this class. So I stamped using the mandala stamp from the Wonders set, and then I stamped them in different colors of Catherine Pooler ink, cut them in half, and pop dotted them along the lines that I drew. And then the ones that I had extras, I kind of worked into my photo cluster. 2 photos from a pottery painting night, and we're going today to pick up the fired pottery, so we'll see how it all turned out. And of course I'm going to do a page about that. So I have a purple flare here, a hot pink one here, because those colors are used heavily in there, and because it was a pottery place, I used this pot with plants in it. I don't think any of us did anything, but I did a Father's Day present for my son. I colored him a mug, and I did drips down the side. I can't wait to see how that turned out. The mug says Big Daddy, and Ava made picked a balloon dog, and she wrote sexy. So she says she made a sexy dog at the pottery place. Okay, also no video on that. There is a video on this one. This was Scrap Squad Sunday, and let's see, I've got that turned around. I used old stash on this one, but new flares. This is a new flare. Well, this was from the May release. This was from a previous release, and this orange one, I think, was from the May release. I think that might have been one of the freebies. And it just matched the orange on the leaves. The orange here is the reverse of this striped paper. So what I tore off of it here, I die cut things out of it. And then, I just kind of, that's a scrap from the scrap pile. This is a Bramble Fox heart that was just the perfect color of gold, and I used kind of dotty things from and these hearts, those are from the latest Vicki Boutin collection. So there's a lot of old stuff, and I've thrown in a little bit of new stuff. These are very old brads. This rainbow one and the Live Out Loud are new, I think, from a Mind the Scrap kit. So that was fun. And like I said, there is a video up for that one. This was the original. I loved the black and white, but I didn't have a black and white straight stripe that I wanted to use for that. So this was my design team layout. There's no video for this. Our fearless leader, Adam Westwood, sent all of us on the design team the same packet of goodies, which included this green flare and this green dotty flare, this dotty about flare circular patch there, this 4x4 photo, and a small 2-inch photo of us, and a piece of dotty about flare, and a design team flare. So we had absolute freedom on how to use it, so I used it all. I even used a bit of the packaging. This green and white striped bag is what it all came in. So, and of course I used color study, and the beginnings of this were from a bonus layout from the color study Lollapalooza class. And I actually had to piece together a bunch of things and kind of washi tape things so they'd stick, and it's still, I almost feel like I should mount it on a piece of cardstock because it feels like it's, see, you can see there's a little strip right there, and then a smaller piece, and then this piece. So it was, and these wings, this one had part of the wing cut off. So I used a lot of stuff here, but to me, that collection kind of speaks to the idea of crafting and using pretty paints and pretty colors. And so it says things like enjoying this moment or next level, and it just to express how thrilled I am to be part of this team. Amazing women, all different styles. Just go check out Dottie About Flair on Facebook and see some of the work. We get these amazing sketches from Lisa Sikorsky of Sikorsky Scraps, and Natalie, who started Dottie About Flair, is on the design team, and she's been doing lives for us during the month of May, and she's just an amazing creator, and so are all of these ladies. So, you know, including this one occasionally. So, this one is a, it's part of Layout Palooza using bleeding tissue paper. And if you don't know what bleeding tissue paper is, I actually was so thrilled with using it here that I bought some. There are 480 little bleeding tissue circles in here, and each of them can make a mess of mixed media like you see here. And what you do is you spray your paper, and this is Vicki Boutin foundation paper, and you can see it's still a little bit warped, so I used maybe a bit too much water. So anyway, you spray the paper, you lay the circles down where you want them, and then you use tweezers to pick them up, or you smoosh them around and move them around. You can spray some more water, which I did, and that's why you get some of the things here. It just, I loved it. So I went back with my visible image stamps, which are these, and no, I didn't get them straight, and I apologize for that. I used some black and white Dottie About Flairs all around. Christina had sent these denim stars, which I thought were just amazing. We used a little wooden circle that she sent in some black paint, and let the paint smear where it wanted to. Yeah, that was intentional. And if you believe that, I have some property in Florida. I went back with some light colored inks and stamped a little group of stars on top. Some of them stand out a little bit more than the others, but I just love this page. And it was about, the load prompt was something about home, and I included a flare that had a house right here beside a picture. This was an older picture of our house before some of the landscaping had grown up. And the daylilies were all in bloom all along in here. And we had some, clematis, I guess, right here that now actually is climbing all over that railing. And these pencil trees are up to the top of the thing. So my journaling just says home isn't what it used to be. And that refers to the landscape is now more overgrown. And it also means the house needs painting now. and it also means there's someone missing. So I like this page. I love it. And I used just some scraps from Vicki Boutin Color Study. But the mixed media and the stamping kind of are the story there. This is one done from, it's a bonus layout from the Color Study Lollapalooza class. And we did this mixed media live and then kind of grouped things that we had left over from the class that we could use on the page. And she showed us this kind of starburst sort of thing with some of the branding strips. So I kind of went with that. I used a different shaped photo, and I had die cut some butterflies out of the vellum paper and used them on a different layout. I'm not sure where that is. It may be in this collection somewhere. But I decided to use the circles as well, and I wanted the butterflies to show, so I kind of doodled the butterfly shape inside the circles. And it's a photo of the kids getting ready to go out to the pool. To me, what my mixed media looked like were splashes from a pool. So the kids are getting ready to go out to the backyard pool after painting on some canvases, and we were letting the canvases dry and kind of trying to take them away so they didn't do more on the canvases. And, you know, I used ducks for the yard and for the pool and all kinds of things. I like this. And in those days, we only saw Katie and Barrett on weekends. So Weekend Vibes seemed like a good title. I love this page because I love this memory. This was a horrible photo taken on an old phone, and I love the memory. I love this china cabinet that's shown there. John and I picked that out at a furniture store that he absolutely hated, and he really wanted me to return this because he didn't like doing business with that company. And when I told him how much I loved it and kind of described to him where it was going to go and how it was going to become part of our home, he kind of gave in. And we schlepped it around to several homes, actually. And not long after this photo was taken, we actually, it was kind of an antiqued blue. We changed the drawer pulls and we painted it a really high gloss black, and it looked amazing in this. This was a 100-year-old house that we had renovated and put a pool in the backyard. So I love that place. It was just the wrong place. It got to be the wrong place when the kids moved. Okay, so this is another one of the bonus layouts where we did the mixed media live with Vicki and then went back and finished the layout. This one had some fussy cut flowers on one of my favorite papers there, and of course I'm using the green grid, which you've seen me use a million times, and I'm using the phrase of we're like a really small gang, because here's me and Katie and Ava, and James had taken us out to the pottery place. So this is another pottery thing. So it's going to go up next to that other one. And it's called Fun Friday because it was last Friday night that we did that. So, and we liked the restaurant we ate at so much that James and I are going back there tonight when we go pick up the fired pottery. This was another of the bonus layouts where we had cut out the color wheel that was on the other side of this red paper, and it left this outline, and it kind of came together right in here. I cut through it right there, but gluing it down, you just really don't even see that. And so I took a cheap piece of white paper that kind of came inside a page protector. It's thin and I would never use it to scrap on, but I glued these branding strips on. I used some more cut wing butterflies. This guy's cut off there and there, and a paw print flare and a flower. And then I just kind of thought, I know that Reese's red bandana doesn't exactly match this red, but it's close enough. And she was so proud of her fresh trim there. She gets a little bit matted when she runs around a lot in the summertime. So this is what the vet recommends for her health and safety. So she comes home and she feels all purty. And so I thought this was I wanted this to be a kind of a fun page, and I had seen Rebecca Moore just really heavily splatter with gesso, white gesso. And so I actually put a mix of white gesso and acrylic paint and some of the leftover white ink in my Delusions bottle. I didn't have very much ink in there, but I got it down to a consistency that it actually sprays, but that's not how I put this on. I actually just pulled this guy out and sprinkled it on. And I love the white spots. And I let the white spots get everywhere except I covered the photo. And I think I only got 1 or 2 spots on here. I didn't get any on Happiness right here, which I had kind of hoped maybe I would. I guess I could fix that. This is, I think, the last of the Color Study Lollapalooza bonus layouts. And this was one of the things that Vicki suggested doing in her design, and then cutting circles out of the packaging. I actually cut lots more, and I had some circles left from punching. My punch for a border punch that I used on some of the class layouts has scallops, but there are holes in the middle of the scallops. So these are the bits of paper that came out of there. So I decided on a page about circles, why not use circles? I hated the mixed media here. I didn't do a very good job there. You can see a little bit of detail there. So I decided to stamp on it. Didn't like that. It was too loud. So I took a baby wipe and kind of smooshed it. And then that, I still didn't like that. So I splattered and made a complete mess. But that's kind of what mixed media is. Anyway, I saw this, and these days, you know, saying today rocked, you know, but I'd printed this photo of just a simpler time and place. You know, I like to take photos of John's profile, and I got a picture of Ava always on her phone, and it was in 2018, before he was diagnosed with Parkinson's, before she was diagnosed with leukemia and lost her hair, and there was no COVID, and Ava's favorite restaurant, the Crab Spot, was still in business, which it isn't anymore. So I just kind of thought, okay, this was a life is good kind of page, because it was then. And I said something about not and I don't have a label on this one. I need to put a label. Someone said, well, you must have thought, I said, who knew how good those days were? And she said, well, you must have, because you took the photo. And that's a good point. So take photos of everyday moments. I will actually just kind of cut this out. I won't make you sit through me filling it out, but I'm going to put it on there so that and I'll put it aside and remember to fill that out. But I kind of like a lot about this page, and it makes me feel good. It doesn't make me feel sad. Yes, it's sad that all of these things have happened, but, you know, I don't know. Life goes on, and pretty colors kind of fix things up. I'm going to switch and do this one, because those two kind of go together. This is a project from Layout Palooza by Christina Sorge of Redefined Kreative, and her design was for this little booklet to be here, and then for you to have a 4x6 photo. And she included these hearts, and the booklet was supposed to be 3 more or 6 more pages or 5 more pages or whatever it turned out to be. So I saved one of the panels, the 4-inch panels that we cut, so that I could fussy cut these flowers to do a little more embellishing right there. And if I had it to do over again, and I might put this typewriter. I die cut, the reverse of this paper is the pink and the dark pink and light pink stripe like you see here. And I had a little bit left, so I die cut a typewriter out of it. And I think the typewriter might have been better right here, hanging off the story. It kind of looks, it looks like it doesn't belong there. So I think I may take it up, and if it messes up the paper there, I may put I have a couple more of these fussy cut flowers and maybe another butterfly. I'll put something else there. So what I did was, there's a poem by Debbie H. Auden that is a kind of a funeral poem, shall we say. And I loved it. It was posted by my niece, or my nephew's wife, and I captured it from there. It's not the full poem. There's a bit missing off the front, but this part just kind of spoke to me. So I included it there and didn't put anything here so that you could see those flowers underneath. And then I filled it with black and white photos of John, capturing essential moments of his personality. And he loved kitty cats, and he loved his grandkids, and he wanted to go see Rock City, because we'd grown up all our lives as kids seeing along the highway, seeing those almost like Burma shave signs, saying "See Rock City," and has a picture of a birdhouse. So we saw Rock City with Ava and Allie, and then Ava liked it so well, that's where she wanted to go for her birthday that year. And then he liked throwing a football or a baseball or a tennis ball or whatever kind of ball was available to the kids in the pool. And here he's with Barrett and his best friend at the time, Solomon. And this is Katie taking a selfie, trying to show us how to take selfies. And I think she was using the selfie stick that we had gotten her. And so this is me waving, and I think I have food in my mouth, and I'm glad you can't see that very clearly. And John is reaching for some food, and she's sitting on the couch. And this must have been not too long after we put this table up, because I can remember when we had a white slipcover on the couch, and trust me, that didn't last long. So I used a king-size sheet that was bright and colorful to cover it up. So that's what was there. And then this was the last, we always celebrated Katie's and John's birthdays together. And this was the last joint birthday party that John was ever there. It was his last birthday party with us during COVID year in 2020. And I love this photo because we're all in it. I wish someone else had been there so that James didn't have to take the photo. But anyway, I love this page, and it's possibly going to get framed without any glass if I can figure out. I don't know what I'm going to do, but anyway, I love it. So thank you, Christina, for the idea. This is a page that I did for the very last day of May I Scrap Lift You, and I had, as soon as I saw this one by Suzanne Steeden, it was one of my scrappy idols. She's known as, let's see, she's known as, and I'm losing what her, Blackbirds and Rainbows on Instagram. And I love film strip pages, and I had butterflies like that, and I loved how she used the journaling strip here. Just everything about this layout was perfect to me. And I took the community challenge at Dottie About Flair to be inspired by a phrase, something woven, stars, ribbon, and double matting. So I kind of did this, and instead of using those butterflies, which were from the Amy Tangerine Brave and Bold, that came in the Mind the Scrap kit, and Suzanne's on the design team for Mind the Scrap, I used just miscellaneous crazy old butterflies I had from previous collections. There are a couple of vellum butterflies from a Vicki Boutin vellum sheet from a few collections ago. I think this one and this one and this one came from a sticker book, and I have no idea who designed the sticker book. This is, I think, Cocoa Vanilla from a couple collections ago. I think that's Paige Evans. And I threw some Dottie About Flares. And it's just garden pictures. And I kind of took the photos as I was coming back from the pool one day, because a lot of things were in bloom and it was just, the light was just right. And I didn't realize that my garden is filled with purple and green, of course. So I just did mixed media in purple and green. I cut out some papers there, kind of used several different techniques to give it that film strip look. Used a purple flare there, a froggy flare there, another purple flare here, and a duck flare there. And my grandma's garden sign that John got me a couple, maybe 5 or 10 years ago. And the little urn that our cat Scout's ashes are in. And Scout looks over the garden and makes sure the flowers stay nice and purple. And so the phrase that I let myself be inspired by was April showers bring May flowers, and tomatoes and lemons and peppers. So, and the companion page to that is that in this garden we have a visitor, and anytime John and I sat out there, before too long, after sitting there, a lizard would show up, at least one, usually, more than one, and sometimes climb on John's shirt. I have a couple great pictures of a lizard on his shoulder, and he appears to have turned his neck and be talking to him. So I took that photo, and the original photo had lots of purple flowers, but I zoomed in so that we could see him, and that left me only one purple flower. And then I almost covered it up with this die cut from a Hero Arts die. And I see something that bothers me right now, but strangely enough, it didn't bother me when I filmed this. I didn't notice it until I saw it posted online. One of the little holes didn't get punched out. I didn't fully weed it. So this was a mess. There is a video on this. I started out with a Paige Evans mandala stencil and some Viva Decor structure paste in a green with gold glitter in it. And I used it here, here, and here. And I did the same die cut twice, once on white paper, really thick, so it shows the embossing, and once on pattern paper, the Vicki Boutin Color Study green and yellow dot. I made mistakes and covered them up and stamped over them and added a bunch of other junk to make it look like the mistakes were maybe part of the design. Some of the pattern of the roll of paper towel that I used over the ink remained, and it almost looks like, I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. I didn't have enough purple flowers left of the Wonders flowers from Paige Evans, so I sprayed them with purple Dilutions shimmer spray, and I did the same with a few different colors to get these green ones, and then I used fabric ones and the little enamel shapes from Wonders, and some crazy mixed up sequins. And the title is the name that JoAnn gave to all lizards and all skinks and all squirrels and all chipmunks that used to hang out in our garden, and still do. And I always imagine that when I sit out there, that they join me, kind of wondering, where's the big guy? So this was for Mixed Media Frenzy, and this was the original. So as you can see, the idea of getting messy, you know, was not mine originally. Seeing this beautiful original actually gave me license to not throw this piece of paper away. It made me think it was okay and it was all going to work out. So I am very happy with this. And by the way, this piece was cut from the very middle inside of this back layer, and this white one was cut from the middle part of this white layer because I knew the photo was going to cover it up, and I wanted to, these were joined to that, so when I cut it apart, it allowed me to overlap the photo with that. So anyway, that's my stack for this week. My other thing I wanted to show you is this fell down today, and I made a discovery about it. I made this for our anniversary in 2012, right after we got back from our anniversary cruise to the Greek Isles. And this photo was taken in Athens. I guess I need to glue that down. And I was kind of obsessed with UTEE, ultra thick embossing enamel, and I used it here and somewhere else. I was also enamored of glossy accents, and I cut this word happy out of, and the outline out of some basic gray paper and then some vellum underneath. That was my first time working with that. I did some stamping here that isn't particularly good, and I could have used some glossy accents on there. I had some metal embellishments I got from somewhere, and this key and these gears, I think, came from 7 Gypsies. JoAnn is a huge sunflower fan, so I had stamped this sunflower not very well and then colored it not very well, but I kind of stuck it here over the map of Holland and Belgium, which is kind of where we lived and worked for a while. And we had a kind of a jokey term that we would call, okay, it's the Europe. And so this was a photo of us on the cruise. This was a photo when we were dating. This was a recent photo at the previous Halloween, our first Halloween in this house. So it said, this is what 31 years of happy looks like. And the one went missing on here, and I think it's when someone was dusting this, the one fell off and didn't get recovered. And I had taken a particular chipboard font here, and I had used 2 or 3 different colors of UTEE on it, and I didn't have anything that matched it. So I found this one today that I could overlap with that, and I thought I might adjust the color on here to be closer to this glittered chipboard one. So I kind of fixed it up. I added some glue in some places. There are some old pattern papers here. This was a stamp with names of a lot of cities. This was the whole family at a birthday lunch. This is us in front of the Acropolis, I think, and that's some washi tape that's got some Latin verbiage on it, and this is also washi tape. It's a fabric, thick canvas washi tape. So I was so proud of taking this 4x6 photo and trimming it, and look at this, it needs, now see, I didn't see that this morning, and I'm embarrassed. It's, how do you keep things like this dusted and clean without messing them up? And this had kind of fallen down and was hiding, and it's kind of hanging over our faces, so I had to correct that. And now I've got long gray hairs that must have stuck in the glue. I'm embarrassed. I'm officially embarrassed here. But I just kind of thought, this is, look, there's the top of John's head. I thought that was a piece of glue or something. So I kind of divided it up. I had to measure precisely 17 times to get that right. And I remember, so anyway, I gave this to him, and he kept it on the wall on his side of the bed. And I don't know, I walked over there and it hadn't been put back up. I think it had been lifted to dust around it, but obviously not it or something. And it fell. And so some of these things got destroyed. So I kind of worked on this a little bit early this morning, and just thought it might be fun to show it. The other thing I was going to show is I just got this in the mail, and I don't know about you, I am new to the whole idea of P13 papers, and so I saw one piece of paper that someone had used in a layout, and I said, ooh, I like that. So I set a price limit and talked to Christina Sorge and said, make me up a kit that costs this much with as many cute things as you can think to go with this collection. And if you have seen my work, you know that I'm not a pastel kind of person. And yet the way these pastels are put together, the images, I just absolutely am in love. So Christina made up a sequin mix to go with this, and it's beautiful. And she picked the kind of the aqua color in there, and there's some lime green and there's purple, because she knows those are my colors. And she picked a green alpha to go with it. And looky, I got more film strips. So I'm excited about that. There's this sticker sheet that has word phrases in several different colors. These have little banners and really cute stickers. So I got all three of the sticker sheets, and I've got some 6x6 papers. Oh, the cameras, look at the cameras. And you guys, this is all pastel, and I'm loving it. And I'll just kind of go through the papers. It's called Summer Vibes. It's made in Poland, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Look at these wrinkly high-top tennis shoes. Look at the Walkman with the headphones. And then you look here and you see, I mean, this is just so gorgeous. And this, I love me a vertical stripe, but when it's these colors in big wide stripes, and then this is the other side is the cameras. So I'm definitely going to have to kind of cut a diagonal that gets all the colors, and then I'll fussy cut the cameras and the tennis shoes and the Walkman out of the other side. Uh-oh, this is a map page, and the other side is the map with this little thing. So what am I gonna do here? I probably will use this, and then you can take some little word, you can type them up or whatever, and maybe even like fussy cut around these to have that overlap of photo that you kind of stick in there. And then maybe wherever it is that the photo was taken, find an enamel dot to mark that spot and maybe do a cluster at that spot in the world. I love this paper. And my wanderlust is going to be satisfied. Oh my gosh, look at the little VW bus. We never had a VW bus, but we did have a van, and you know, we had a couple vans, and we had an RV. So we've done the whole, you know, van traveling thing. And look, the little tropical leaves here. I think this is a fussy cutting page. Again, another one of those that I'll probably cut in half and fussy cut these images out of them, and maybe some of these. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And then this is a beautiful pale aqua with some mixed media look on it, and a pink. I will definitely use the aqua side because here's some pink sheet music. Oh, and another very fussy cuttable page. Okay, so I will fussy cut some things and then leave some space that I can die cut some stuff out of that. Here's the music, the sheet music page again with the Walkman and the tropical leaves. Oh my gosh, look at that. Don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I love that. That's kind of the signature image, and I can see maybe replacing this with a photo kind of right here, maybe fussy cutting this and tucking the photo under it, and maybe having it tucked under this this surfboard. Oh, okay, and here's another one of those, kind of a pick-me. Look at the waffles with the whipped cream and the polka dots. I love that. I may just need more sheets of that paper. And here is a yellow background. This is the yellow dotty, and this is the yellow solid. I would definitely go with the dotty because it kind of reads as a solid. So there's all of that, and these are some of the extras. I have not seen ooh, look at these. These are from Redefined Kreative. She made me these little wood veneers and painted them to match the collection. And then there's some tags, some more tags, some more tags, and some ephemera from the collection. And look at the packaging, how beautiful that is. And oh my gosh, I knew, she asked me if I had a die cutting machine. Look at the loose tropical leaves and the plumeria, and you can make this image right here with these two leaves. You've got the pieces, you've got the stamen and the little inside the stamen and the pistil, I guess. Oh my gosh, little teeny little enamel dots, but from Violet Studio, and they match perfectly. And then this is, these are 4x6 cards. Oh my. And then chipboard embellishments, really light kind of chipboard, including a frame. Okay, I'm officially in love. And you guys, this was all I said was, you know, base it on P13 and do some Christina magic. So she pulled in things from other collections, like the alphas are from Pinkfresh, and this green goes with everything on here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'll be creating with that soon, and I'll be creating with these, and you know you're gonna see these. So thank you for watching. I know this was a really long, drawn-out video, but I was kind of happy about this this group of layouts, and about the kit, which just arrived. So see you next week. Spending. I have spent, and I will kind of detail some of that in my description box. I am, in addition to the Freeze Gang Freeze, which is kind of ongoing, I'm doing the Rediscover Your Stash using their product focus of Project Life cards or pocket page cards, and I have 8 billion of them. And so you'll be seeing more grids, and I'm going to try to use those. I'm going to just create a big basket of them that I want to fussy cut images out of, and I'll do that while watching television. So I'll be kind of featuring some of that. And the way I do freezes is I don't discontinue my existing subscriptions, but I don't do add-ons, although yesterday I did an add-on because there were some available, and I just needed the alpha stamps that were in the Bujo kit for this month's Mind the Scrap kit. And what else? Oh, I was asked by one of my scrappy idols to help get some product that he has trouble getting in the UK. And you probably know him when I say he, that I'm talking about Scrappy Adam. And so I found some things on sale at a store locally, and there may have been some of that product that I wanted more of, and it may not have made it into the box that I'm shipping to him. So I have spent that money. And then right before the Rediscover Your Stash Freeze started, I ordered a kit from Shimmerz paints, and I've never owned anything from Shimmerz, any Shimmerz products. So I'm anxious to get that in. I'm looking forward to that. And I forget what else I've ordered. Anyway, the stuff that I got that may have not made it to Adam is Obed Marshall and Damask Love. And whatever of Vicki Boutin color study I could get my hands on, and then I split it up with Adam. And it was just, the papers were just 20 cents a sheet. So it was their Memorial Day sale. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my layout share, my kit share, and my repair share, and my confessions. So see you next week. Bye.